Wukusu, peace, black power, and welcome to Harlem Liberation School's YouTube channel. Harlem Liberation School is a black nationalist, pan-African community organization based in Harlem. We provide relevant and credible political education to help black people wake up, clean up, and stand up, in the words of Brother Malcolm X. To do this, we provide panel discussions, political commentary, mini documentaries, leadership tips, classes, and interviews with some of our most dedicated and effective leaders, activists, and intellectuals around the world. Well, peace and black power, family. Wukusu is Brother TYEHIMBA from Harlem Liberation School, where we proudly teach black people to wake up, clean up, and stand up, in the words of our exemplary Baba Malcolm X. I want to start off by giving a very special revolutionary birthday shout to Baba Daruba bin Wahad, who has been fighting for us, family, for decades. Even when he was unfairly imprisoned. He went into prison and was still organizing and teaching the people and organizing the brothers behind the wall. And it came out of prison and had a welcome message for Brother Nelson Mandela when he did his tour of the United States on 125th Street. So he's been doing this for a long time. I want to give a very special birthday shout out to Baba Daruba bin Wahad. For those who don't know, today I believe will be his 81st. He's one of the leaders of the New York branch of the Black Panther Party, the original Black Panther Party. Those of you remember when we were in brick and mortar, the original Black Panther Party office was right across the street from Harlem Liberation School. He was also a co-founder of the Black Liberation Army. That's a whole book. That's a whole discussion for another time. But I want to give a shout out to Baba Daruba, man. He has earned our love and respect, putting his life on the line in so many ways. Shout out to Baba. Hope he's enjoying it. Hope he's safe and having fun and with people he loves and can trust. Quick announcements, and we're going to bring our brother on. I want to give a special thanks to those who joined Brother Bomani Shakur and myself yesterday here at the Harlem Liberation School. We are working, part of a campaign, working to free Baba Abdul Alugbala Shakur from prison. He's done 45 years in prison, family, in California. I don't want to get into why he was there. I would say for that, you should probably go to our channel, go to the video yesterday and see, because we broke all that down. And I don't want to waste a lot of your time with that here. But he was imprisoned for defending a black woman from, we're going to say, racial attack from a white man. He'd been in jail for 45 years, 32 of which was in, you might as well say, solitary confinement. No human contact, no sunlight, a whole bunch of atrocious conditions. And yet, he's written about 15 books. And yet, he's created businesses behind the wall. And yet, he helped broker the agreement. I forget what it's called right now, but it was a very important document in around 2014 to broker peace between all the different races in all of the California state prisons, family. Agreement to end hostilities, that's what it's called, where every different group, because they click up by races in prison, where every different group would agree to chill with the violence, to solve things non-violently. And because of what he did, violence has gone down in the state of California penal system dramatically. We're working to free him. Last night we had a very good session. We had almost like a Zoom. We had people in. We had the Baba AGYEI Moja, who is legendary. We had Brother Chokwe Lumumba's sister, who's legendary. Sister Shakur was there. We had a beautiful bunch of Africans, new Africans. We wrote letters. And those of you who want to join that letter writing campaign, because he needs to get these letters in before July 7th, when he has his next parole hearing. We want to write letters. We want to help get our brother out. He's been nothing but positive and peaceful and responsible, and we want to get him out to general society, right? That said, last thing I want to say, family, is on a personal mission, I'd love for you to subscribe to our new YouTube channel. I'm going to try to show that to you. Give me 1 second. I want to thank Brother Heru for being patient while I try to get through this. Hold on one second. And that is called The Real Wise OG. I'm going to show it to you right now. This is a new YouTube channel I've done. It's this character, of course, is fictitious, The Real Wise OG. And he is a middle-aged black man that's been through a lot, done a lot, seen a lot. And he's giving life lessons to our brothers. He's teaching our brothers how to be responsible, how to shut our mouth, to discipline our mouth, to discipline our appetites, to be community-centered, to make sure we get our money right, our health right, to fix our flaws, to be honest about the things where we fall short and fix them. The type of men that you would want your daughters to be with, the type of men you'd want to be in some of the leadership of your organizations. People like Brother Heru, good brothers, upstanding brothers. And this channel is all about teaching those lessons, how to deal with anger, dealing with emotion, dealing with being expressive, all these things, books to read, spiritual systems to study, really good stuff. So if you have a chance, family, go by The Real Wise OG and subscribe. We're trying to not just have a YouTube channel. We're trying to be part of a movement to rescue and reclaim our brothers, keep them out of jails, keep them from being buried prematurely. Did you know our group, Black men, die earliest of everybody on this planet? Yeah. So please, when you have a chance, check it out, family. That said, I want to get to our brother Heru. Brother Heru is really a phenomenal brother. He's kind of understated in that respect. He's not very big on self-promotion. So I'll promote him. The brother has a herbal results of business. He creates his own products, nutritional supplements. He also travels the country and the world. I saw that he's going to be in London, I believe, really soon. Maybe he'll talk about that a little bit. And he's really teaching people about diet and about toxicity and how we should look at this thing we call health, being critical of some of the medications that certain people love to give us that have a billion side effects and don't tell us the truth behind some of these medications. And he kind of really lifts the veil so we can see what was really going on with medications in our health in a way that everyone can understand. With that said, I want to bring our good brother on. Peace, Brother Heru. How you doing, man?
I'm productive. How are you?
Good, man. I'm good. I'm blessed to be breathing, man. Thank you again for making time for us. I see you doing big things, brother. Before we start, tell us about what you're going to be doing in London.
Well, what I always do, I just got back from Richmond, Virginia last weekend, and it was a lecture on reversing cancer and autoimmune illnesses and high blood pressure and diabetes. And so we are going to be doing the same thing in London on July 11th. Anyone who's interested, just contact me at herbalresults.net. If you got any listeners in the United Kingdom or Europe and they want to come over, check out the lecture. It's going to be a historic lecture because I'm being bought over by the Nation of Islam, and they have a huge community in England. And I was made aware that there were people who've been using our protocol to reverse cancer. There's like a certain community of people in London, and we've gotten about 10 cancer reversals, unbeknownst to me. I got information on that a couple of weeks ago when I was able to speak to someone there. And they've been just doing the protocol, and they've been getting some great results. And so some of those people will be coming to the lecture to give live testimonials as well on their cancer reversals. And so we'll be covering reversing cancer, reversing autoimmune illnesses, going over the science, the microscopic slides of what certain pathologists have been seeing around autoimmune diseases and parasites and cancer and parasites. We're going to go over scientific studies. We'll be going over testimonials and case studies, and we'll be also going over a proven protocol that has gotten the results for people. We'll cover high blood pressure, diabetes. Those are the main things that are ailing our people, and kidney failure. So I'll be covering about 6 different topics, and I'll have 6 hours to do it. And that's on the 11th of July.
11th of July. Do you know if they'll be live streaming that, Brother Heru?
That I don't know. That will be up to the promoters. They have not told me
Okay.
anything about live streaming now. But
Okay.
people can hit me up on my Facebook or my Instagram or YouTube on my channel or on my website, herbalresults.net, if they want more information about that.
Yes, sir. Okay, that's excellent, man. I will definitely want to try to follow that, see, hear some of what you're going to be breaking down, and certainly share it with other people who might be interested in checking it out. Those who can't, let's say, go to that physically may be able to check you out online. We'll see. Um, well, Brother Haru, man, thanks again, brother, for another session. People are really enjoying I don't want to say enjoying, I want to say appreciating the information that you're sharing with us. And we've covered a number of things. We dealt with high blood pressure. I think we dealt with kidneys. We dealt with anti-autoimmune diseases.
Yeah.
Um, Today, this is something that a lot of middle-aged people in our community um, are dealing with. When I was younger, I never thought I'd be wearing glasses, reading glass, reading glasses. And then one day when I turned about 50, I said, wow, when I'm reading, I read all the time and stuff is getting blurry here. So I had to get reading glasses. And a lot of people I know are like that. Some people have cataracts. There's a lot going on with our eye health. It's not something I hear a lot of people talking about. So when we try to come up with a topic, I thought that might be a good one, a departure from the normal stuff, that we tend to talk about. So I was wondering, Brother Haru, from your perspective, what broader issues in the body, because I know you talk about inflammation and things like that, manifest or impact our eye health?
Okay. So, again, you let me know, I think a couple of days ago, that you wanted to deal with the eyes. I kind of smiled because I just got finished dealing with a couple of customers who had some eye issues. They were shocked at the solution that I gave them. So, the main eye issues, let's just be clear about that, would be for people particularly get over 40, 50 years old, is cataracts and glaucoma, right? And then you would have the loss of eyesight through diabetes. Those are the three things. Everything else is maybe you have to wear glasses, you have to wear contact lenses or whatever. That's not something that's going to move the needle compared to a diagnosis of cataracts or glaucoma or these types of things. So we're not going to spend too much time talking about like someone who needs glasses. We're going to talk about someone who has an eye disease or macular degeneration, right? So let me just tell people how to deal with cataracts and glaucoma. So you get cataracts, they're going to tell you, hey, we need to do surgery. What's really interesting is that before people were doing surgery for cataracts, I don't know if you're familiar with how people got rid of cataracts.
Mm.
Are you? Okay.
Nope.
And they still do today. So depending on what part of the world that you're in, if you're an eye doctor in the Caribbean, instead of doing surgery, you know what they do? They give you drops of castor oil in your eye.
Hmm.
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
So the drops of castor oil, it has to be hexane free, organic castor oil, because the other types of castor oil has a lot of chemicals in it. But for a long time in the Caribbean and Africa, when people get cataracts, you put a drop of castor oil a day in the eye, 1 or 2 drops. Within a week or two, the cataracts dissolve.
Hmm.
That's
I
it.
would have never thought that.
Yeah,
Wow.
that's it. That's it. Like that's it.
And
It's that simple.
wow.
That's it. Okay. Now, if you wanted to speed up, you would add a thing called DMSO. DMSO is this. It's a solvent that essentially carries medicine deeper into a site. It's a carrier. So when you mix DMSO with castor oil, you give drops, and the cataracts dissolve, and many people's eye problems go away. And there's many case studies on this. I mean, I can show you a few, but the point of the matter is I just want to cut to the chase and tell people what they need to do. So if you have cataracts, you're going to do is you're going to get hexane-free organic castor oil, and you're going to drop them in your eye. And usually a 30-70 blend is really all you need. And I'll show you where to get, like, if you want DMSO mixed with castor oil, you can, I'll show you how to do it. I believe it's a sister who owns the company. It's called Bearcat. And I'll share it with you all, okay?
Mm-hmm.
So, cataracts, you're gonna want to use castor oil. You're gonna want to use castor oil mixed with DMSO cream. So this is the product that you want. I do not have an affiliation with the company. I have gotten their products before for my mother who had sciatica, and she still has it, but this has helped with the pain. So are you able to see this here?
Yes.
Yeah, so basically this right here, 30-70 blend,
Mm-hmm.
put drops in your eye and it dissolves the cataracts. And it also helps with other macular degeneration problems. There are many testimonials of like people who actually couldn't see, and they use DMSO, and all of a sudden now they got their eyesight back. This guy right here, I'm going to play this for you all so that you all can see this. This is on X. We're going to share this tab. Can you see it?
Yes, sir.
You see this gentleman here?
Yep.
Okay, so let me just read the headline. This guy has been blind all his life. 75-year-old man who's been blind since birth suddenly regained his eyesight after using DMSO to treat sinus. It cleared his sinuses instantly, but what it did to his sight was unbelievable. For the first time in his life, he was finally able to see color in his left eye, and he kept using the DMSO. His vision kept improving. He could make out details, even count fingers. It's something he'd never been able to do before. And it says, it talks about, but let him tell his own story.
The DMSO has definitely improved the sight.
Start from the beginning.
The DMSO has definitely improved the sight in an eye which was blind for 75 years, which I find to be unbelievable. But when I was 5, 6 years old, it became clear to me, and my parents had noticed a lot earlier, that one of my eyes was non-functional. So this went on for some time. I visited specialists, and eventually when I was 10 years old, they operated on my eye to remove cataracts. And in those days, they just removed the lens from my eye. So that cleared the cataract, but obviously at that point I was blind, so it didn't matter what they did. I was unable to see very much, basically a little bit of light and dark, all black, and shapes only, and some movement. I could detect movement if it was fast enough and vigorous enough. About 10 years ago, a specialist took a look at my left eye and he said, well, if I could do anything, I would, but there's really nothing I can do. Through Mercola, I became aware of a Midwestern doctor, and when I started reading his articles, I found them enlightening and very eloquent and beautifully written, beautifully researched. His articles on DMSO stood out. I was having sinus troubles at that point, and so I thought, oh, well, I'll try the DMSO. So I used that, and it cleared my sinuses instantly. I'd been using that for about 2 months, and I became aware of the fact that I could see color with my left eye, which I found to be interesting, and I attribute it then and still do to using DMSO in my sinuses. And so I've continued with it, except that I apply it to my eyelid, top and bottom, on a daily basis. Just wipe it on with my finger. And it's continued to improve the sight of my left eye. I can see color quite distinctly now. I can see detail. I obviously can't read. I can count fingers, which I could never do before. And it's improved to the point where I can cover up my right eye and walk around the house without running into things. I can see well enough to navigate around the house. Clearly, I know the house since I've lived here for 30 years. However, I can see and avoid bumping into tables, and I can go through doors without hitting the sides and so forth. So it has to be reasonably good light. At night, I can see lights, but I can't see shapes. But in the dead of night, you can't anyway. So I find it amazing that I can now see with my left eye.
Have you been to an eye doctor since all of this started?
I go to a specialist, yes. I've told her in the last 2 visits over the last year or so that the vision of my left eye is improving. She hasn't bitten on that. She looks in my left eye with her instruments and so forth, measures the pressure and looks at whatever they're looking at with a magnifying glass and a bright light. But she hasn't ever asked me how the vision of my left eye is improving or why it's improving. So I haven't bothered volunteering the information. Doctors tend to be very dismissive of DMSO. They tend to say, oh, well, it's unproven technology, which I find to be particularly ignorant, particularly when it's pointed out to them that it has benefited some people. However, that's the medical profession. The DMSO.
So yeah, he was blind in one of his eyes. He used the DMSO. It cleared up his blindness. And people are getting this left and right with DMSO. And when you mix it with castor oil, you get some really great things happening. And so, someone's asking where you can purchase it. You just go here. You go to, let me share the website again. You can get DMSO mixed with castor oil. You go to bearcatbody.com and you go to the eye section. When you go there, there'll be different sections for like skin, what have you. So let's just go to I'll just show you how to navigate it. You go to bearcatbody.com and then you go to shop, and then you can get a consultation if you want. Go to products, and you'll see the different products for the eyes, okay? They're all here. See, revitalized eyes. And you can get the 60-40 or the 30-70 blend, which is 30% DMSO, 70% castor oil. Use that for your eyes. And you've been getting a lot of stories of people reversing their eye issues, including blindness. So you'd use that for cataracts. So that's for cataracts. And other eye issues, if you've got macular degeneration, what have you, want to try it. And then what you want to do is you want to look at glaucoma now, right? Because those are the two major issues, is cataracts and glaucoma. And then degeneration of eyes through diabetes. So we'll do that last. So we're talking about glaucoma. The way that you reverse glaucoma is through the work of Dr. Harold Shell. And he's written a book, which I have for you all right here. And the solution to that is high dose vitamin D.
Vitamin D.
Yes. And you
Man,
don't put,
me and the Queen were
it in your
just
eye.
talking about vitamin D.
Yeah, you don't put it in the eye, you just take the vitamin D and you want to get your blood level to 150. The medical system will try to cut you off at 100, but 150 is the magic number. You see this book right here? Vitamin D3, the alternative to previous therapy of glaucoma. So he found out, this doctor, here's a German doctor, this is the book, and you can get it on Amazon as well. So let me see if I can. You'll see an article here on American Health Reports. See this right here? Revolutionary vitamin D3 protocol that could change glaucoma treatment forever.
Mm-hmm.
And this is about high dose vitamin D and refers to Dr. Harold Shell. Okay. And so basically what you're going to do is, and let me see if I can, this is the book on Amazon. You can get it on Amazon and you can just look at it and read the information that I'm telling you all. Basically what he did was he got all of his patients who had glaucoma and autoimmune illnesses. And what he did was he gave them high dose vitamin D to get them to a blood level of 150 as quickly as possible. And when he got them to 150, see, this is the target, with the target of 150 nanograms per milliliter in the blood. You see, what happened was all of these autoimmune illnesses that he had for his patients and glaucoma that he saw in his patients, it disappeared. Okay, so that's yes, to get the target number to 150. And so the best vitamin D that we know is the one that we make at Herbal Results. Why am I saying it's the best? Not just because I make it. It's the best because I've actually run real life tests on it. What do I mean by real life tests? I'm not saying that I'm looking at the test on the product itself. I'm looking at the test on human beings. Human being, namely being me. So what I did was I took my vitamin D levels before I made my new batch of vitamin D3 for the public. So I got sample batches and I took my vitamin D levels and got my number in 24 hours from going to healthlabs.com. Anyone can go to healthlabs.com and put in your zip code and you can get a vitamin D test for like $50. You don't need an appointment. They'll just give you the closest place to your zip code, which is usually 5 miles away or less. And then you go there with, you don't need an appointment. You just go in with your, your receipt that you paid. Mm-hmm. They draw your blood, takes literally 30 seconds. And in 24 hours, they have your number, your vitamin D number. So I got my vitamin D numbers, and then I began taking 1 full dropper a day of my product. I did it for 30 days. And went back and got another vitamin D test and confirmed that in 30 days, I was able to raise my vitamin D blood number, my blood reading, by 100 nanograms per milliliter in 30 days. So if you take double, which is 2 dropperfuls per day, you'll raise that in 2 weeks to 100, more than what you already have. So if you have your vitamin D level is 20, it'll go to about 120 in about 2 weeks. If you take 2 dropperfuls a day, it'll go to 120 if you take 1 dropperful per day. So this is across the board with all of my customers. And so everyone is very satisfied. For the cancer patients, the autoimmune illness patients, glaucoma patients, we're able to get them to the therapeutic level of vitamin D, which is 150 or higher. We're able to get you there quite quickly. And what Dr. Shell has shown in his research is that literally people's glaucoma will go away once you gave them the high dose vitamin D3. Now, the thing that people need to know, vitamin D3, when you take high dose vitamin D3, you also need to take K2 with it to make sure you don't get kidney stones with excess calcium in the blood. K2 is a transporter. It transports excess calcium in the blood directly to the bone so it doesn't end up in the kidneys. Mm-hmm. And then you also take magnesium along with vitamin D. They are complementary products. So magnesium helps in the absorption of vitamin D. So you take them both together and you've got a powerful punch. So if someone has glaucoma, I would say get the vegan vitamin D3 plus K2 and then get the magnesium. Okay, you just take that, you can take a dropper full, not a drop, a whole dropper full. So the whole thing you need to take once a day or twice a day. And then the magnesium, you will take 2 capsules per day. And you do that and you should see some profound differences in your glaucoma, okay? So we've solved cataracts. Cataracts, basically, you can use castor oil and DMSO. Macular degeneration, you could use castor oil, DMSO. And then glaucoma, you can just use high-dose vitamin D3 therapy along with magnesium and vitamin K2. And then we move on to the eye problems that come from diabetes. Well, Diabetes is basically insulin resistance. What you're going to do is you're going to cut out the sugar, cut out the carbohydrates. You're going to supplement with vitamin D3 plus K2 and magnesium, because most people who are diabetic are actually magnesium deficient and vitamin D deficient. And they're inflamed, so then you add the olive leaf extract. Then you change your diet to a diet that's a ketogenic diet, and then your diabetes should go away from having like a high A1C of, an A1C is basically an average of 3 months of your blood sugar, and that's the long-term blood sugar. Anything above 5.7 is seen as pre-diabetic, 5.7 to 6.3. Then anything above 6.3 is seen as diabetic. So what we want to do is bring your A1C below 5.7, which we can do. We've been able to do it within 30 days to get people's A1C from 11 to 5.5. We have the testimonials on our website. And what happens is that what the excess sugar and the inflammation is doing to your eyes, it gets reversed. Because one of the things that you see with diabetics is they either lose their limbs or they go blind or both. And that's because of what happens with the inflammation and the sugar that affects people's eyesight. And people who have diabetes will always report having blurry vision and what have you, because the inflammation going on in their brain, going on in their eyes. It's just a corrosive effect. Remember, sugar does to the teeth. So then imagine what sugar will do to your eyes and your eye cavities and your eye, your organs and everything connected to your eyes. And these are soft tissues. And your teeth is hard, and sugar can burn a hole into your teeth, right? Call it cavities. So sugar can do that type of decay in your teeth. Imagine what it's doing to your eyes and your soft internal organs. So we tell people, just get off the sugar, man, and get off the refined carbohydrates. That's the white flour, the white rice, the pasta, the cookies, the crackers, the donuts. Just get that out of your life. If it's in your house, throw it away. It's much easier to have a diet that you can abide by if you don't have those things in your house, right? Because then you're going to want to snack because the donuts are there. I would say that if you're serious about it, just do a sweep of your kitchen, throw away everything that is seen as inflammatory. And I just named them. Those foods that are inflammatory, along with the vegetable oils, vegetable seed oils, canola, corn, sunflower, all that. Get rid of it, replace it with.
You said to use coconut, right?
Yeah, coconut. Organic, unrefined virgin coconut oil. Use that to cook with. It won't have a corrosive effect on your body like those seed oils do. And you should be able to reverse your diabetes. So those are the three main issues with people's eyes when people get over 40. It is cataracts, glaucoma, and diabetes. And I just gave people the solutions to all three.
Brother Heru, do you drink tea or coffee, anything like that?
I don't drink coffee. I don't really drink much tea. I usually just drink water with lime in it.
Do you use any type of I guess I would say natural or healthy alternative to sugar that you'd recommend for people?
People who would like to have that sweet taste, you can stevia or monk fruit. Those won't raise your glycemic index. Just keep in mind, like something like monk fruit, any type of fruit, it's going to have fructose in it. Mm-hmm. So the fructose is going to feed, it's going to get into fatty liver issues. So if you already got fatty liver, the fructose will feed the fatty liver. But you won't get a glucose spike, which is decent in the sense of insulin resistance. But I would just tell people, look, man, if you got vision issues, you got diabetes, the last thing you need to be worried about is eating something sweet.
Right. I hear that. Yeah.
Like that's the last thing you need to be worried about. You need to actually see that sweet tasting things are your enemy, at least for some time until you can get your metabolic situation in order. But I'm not big on like giving people loopholes because the sweet, this addiction to sweet is usually being dictated by the parasites in your bodies who need sweet things to get energy. So my thing is stop feeding the parasites and start killing the parasites. And when you kill the parasites, you get more accustomed to the bitter taste. And the bitter taste is less off-putting. The formula is this: is that the more addicted you are to sweets, the more bitter taste is off-putting to you. The less addicted you are to sweets, the more you're able to accept bitter taste.
Hmm. Okay. And may I ask you, what exactly is glaucoma?
So glaucoma has a lot to do with like pressure. It's a pressurization of the eyes. It's usually caused by inflammation. It's caused by also the immune system not working properly. And so that's why vitamin D plays a huge role in reversing glaucoma, because glaucoma and eye health is also connected to your immune system.
Hmm. Would the doctor, if a doctor did a test and saw you had low vitamin D, is that something they can prescribe you vitamin D?
They can, or they tell you to take. You don't need to get a prescription for vitamin D. It's over the counter, so it's not anything that you'd wait for a doctor to prescribe. And the numbers are too low. Like their daily acceptable numbers and the numbers that they give you is actually too low.
Hmm.
They tell you to cut off at 100. And the reason why they tell you to cut off at 100 is they've been taught that anything over 100, you're at risk of vitamin D toxicity, which they call hypercalcemia. Calcium is a byproduct of vitamin D. So the more vitamin D you have in your blood, the more calcium you get developed in your blood. So as a matter of fact, if you want your bones to be stronger, you want higher calcium, you take vitamin D and not calcium tablets.
Hmm.
Calcium tablets, and this is counterintuitive, but calcium tablets don't absorb well in the body, they just go out through your urine. But if you want increased calcium, it's actually through vitamin D. So when you take a lot of vitamin D, you'll get excess calcium in the blood. And calcium needs to find itself somewhere. That excess calcium is what they're calling the hypercalcemia. It sounds just like what it is. Hyper meaning too much, calcium meaning too much calcium. But when you have vitamin K2, it solves the problem because K2 is a transporter. It will take the calcium from the blood and deliver it directly to the bone, so you don't have a problem with hypercalcemia. I have many customers whose vitamin D levels are way off what they call normal. I'm talking about like 300. I myself, my vitamin D level is around 250. I'm saying the magic number is 150. Mine is around 250. And I don't have any abnormal calcium readings. My calcium readings are normal because I take vitamin K2. So one of the ways that you can find out if you do have hypercalcemia from too much vitamin D is just ask them to give you a calcium test and see what the calcium levels in your blood. That'll confirm it. So never allow a doctor to tell you your calcium numbers are too high without checking your. I mean, don't let a doctor tell you that your vitamin D levels are too high without having them check your calcium numbers too.
Hmm.
Because the calcium numbers will let you know if there's any toxicity going on. But if your calcium numbers are fine, that means the vitamin K2 has been working just fine in removing the calcium from your blood and depositing into your bones.
And thank you for that, brother Hu. And also, I was watching. I forget this guy's name. I think his name is. I think his channel's called Diary of a CEO. He's a black Brit,
Yeah,
and he has. You see that? You familiar with him?
yeah,
He has phenomenal guests on there. But he has some guy on, a white guy, and he was explaining how vitamin D and being in the sun 15 to 20, I think he said maybe 20 to 30 minutes a day is healing and restorative.
yeah.
Uh yeah, I wanted you to comment on that, see what you thought about that.
Okay, so vitamin D naturally is made from our contact of skin to the sun. So the way that it happens is that the sun touches the skin and it has to interact with cholesterol that's in the skin. And that cholesterol activation from the sun gets converted into vitamin D. What happens if you're on statins or everyone's on statin drugs that lower their cholesterol? That means that the body's not able to synthesize the sunlight to vitamin D because your body has been deprived of cholesterol through the statin drugs that you're taking. So the statin drugs play a big role in diminishing your vitamin D levels because of the cholesterol that's been stripped away. The body actually needs cholesterol. The brain needs cholesterol. Cholesterol is supposed to be moving freely through your blood. But at times it can get stuck if you've got inflammation of your arterial walls. And that's the real problem. It's not the cholesterol, it's the inflammation that's causing the cholesterol to get stuck.
And that's from the sugar.
Yeah, the inflammation is coming from the sugar. So what you want to do, man, is be out in the sun. That's a natural source of vitamin D. And it's free. But many of us, you know, in the wintertime, we won't go out because it's too cold. And in the summertime, we won't go out because it's too hot. There's no pleasing us, right? But for someone of my skin tone and your skin tone, to get 10,000 IUs a day, we need to be out in the sun, no shirt, shorts, for about 45 minutes a day. And the best hours of sun is between 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. Those are the best
and I guess
window.
the supplements would help if we don't get enough from that.
Yeah, the supplements will be, if you're deficient, you need more than an hour a day. Most of our people are deficient. So what you want to do is use the supplements like the vitamin D we have as a cheat code. It'll raise your levels up very quickly. Very quickly. In 30 days, you'll be right.
I noticed when you had the product up, I think it was vitamin D. I noticed that it treats it sounds like it may treat depression and some other things as well.
Have you heard of seasonal affective disorder?
I haven't.
Okay, well, there's a form of depression called seasonal affective disorder. You know what the acronyms stand for? Think about it. Seasonal affective disorder, SAD, sad.
Sad.
Right? So seasonal affective disorder happens to people usually during the winter time. And they call it seasonal affective disorder, but it's actually low vitamin D. See, what happens is that when it's dark outside all the time and cold, people end up in depression because they're being deprived their relationship with the sun, and their relationship with vitamin D goes down. So people's moods, people's attitudes really, really go down the toilet during a time where there's a lack of sunshine. You know, you ever heard the song Bright Sunshiny Day?
Yep.
It's going to be a bright, bright, sunshiny day. You know what I mean? There's a lot of meaning to that. There's a lot of meaning to that. So people get a seasonal affective disorder literally because they're being deprived of their relationship with the sun and their vitamin D numbers are going down. And so, yeah, one of the ways that we do treat people with depression is, first thing I'll ask is like, what's your vitamin D levels? What's your magnesium levels? Because that plays a role in it as well, magnesium and vitamin D.
And just to recap, because I think when we did the broadcast on it, I think you mentioned it tonight too. For people with autoimmune diseases or disorders, the vitamin D is critical for them as well, correct?
Critical. Anyone can look up Dr. Cicero Coimbra, Coimbra. He's a doctor out of Brazil who's reversed people's autoimmune disease for the last 20 years with a high-dose vitamin D protocol. It's called the Coimbra protocol. He has lectures on YouTube, interviews on YouTube, case studies and everything. People with lupus, multiple sclerosis, all types of autoimmune diseases get reversed when they go on his protocol and they take high-dose vitamin D3. So that's why we made the product in Herbal Results. I just saw that our people are severely deficient in vitamin D because we're living in places that are not natural to us. We're tropical people. That's why our skin is the way it is. We're tropical people of the sun. And we're in these places that were not meant for us, cold places. So what happens is that we end up getting the worst health outcomes because our immune system is impaired more than other people because we need more time in the sun than people with lighter skin. So now you've got these people with dark skin in places where there's very little sunlight, it's very cold, the winters are long. These people get the worst outcomes in terms of health, because the main nutrient for the immune system is vitamin D, right? So, you know, I always say it as people laugh, but I'm very serious. I say that, like, if you black, you shouldn't live anywhere where mangoes can't grow. We're tropical people, man. And so when we're outside of the tropical zones, we suffer. We suffer more than anybody. And there've been epidemiological studies done on this. Like, there've been studies of like a Somali refugee population that was moved to Sweden, and they were given like free housing in Sweden in like basically projects, buildings. And within like 2 to 5 years, all of the people there had the worst health outcomes than anyone else in Sweden. They couldn't figure out why. And the reason why is because all of them were vitamin D deficient. They left a tropical place in Africa. Basically, Somalia is pretty much on the equator, but very close to the equator. And you left that place to go to a very cold place like Sweden, where it's dark 9 months out of the year and winter like 9 months out of the year. So you're having these bad health issues, man. So now extrapolate that to a black person in London, a black person in Paris, a black person in New York, a black person in Chicago. We just end up there, and that's not the environment for us. We're lacking vitamin D. So most of our people's vitamin D numbers are like below 30, definitely below 30. Even the medical system say it should be around 50, right? But like, we're all, just about anybody you meet, you take their vitamin D level, you're going to see this below 50, it's below 30, and in many cases, it's below 10.
And you're saying it should be like 150.
150 is the magic number. You know, a sister, I always tell this story. A sister contacted me about 6 months ago. She said that she's been diagnosed with autoimmune disease called Hashimoto's. So Hashimoto's is when your thyroid isn't producing enough hormone, thyroid hormone, right? It's called hypothyroidism. The opposite of that is hyperthyroidism, which is Graves' disease. They call that as an autoimmune disease. So she was diagnosed with Hashimoto's. It's an autoimmune disease. And so they give themselves away by the words that they use. That's why Malcolm said to study the dictionary, the history and the etymology of words was one of the most rewarding things to him. So when you look at autoimmune disease, what are they saying? They're saying self-immune. Basically, your immune system is attacking yourself. And so my question is, if you have an immune problem, I want to know what your vitamin D levels are. That's the main nutrient. And so I asked her, you know, what's your vitamin D numbers? And of course, she said, my doctor's never tested them. You have autoimmune disease and they never test your vitamin D levels. So I asked her to go get her vitamin D levels tested. A few days later, she came back to me and said she got them tested and her vitamin D score was 2.
Wow.
2. I said, there you go. That explains why you've got this autoimmune problem. You have no vitamin D in your blood. You have the main nutrient that your body needs to help you fight off disease is gone. You don't have it. You're deficient in it. And this was the explanation, and we were able to correct that quite quickly. All of a sudden, she's feeling better. And this stuff happens, like, you know, it can be quite annoying for someone like me to see people suffering from issues that they make it seem so complicated, but it's actually so simple. So they'll have you spending $20,000, $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 a year on treatment in some way. And a treatment that never really solves the problem. They tell you got to do this for the rest of your life. And then you get ancillary issues for the medications you're taking in the form of side effects. So your only problem was that you have low vitamin D levels. And if we raise your vitamin D levels and add magnesium to it, all of a sudden now your problem is fixed. This is what Dr. Coimbra has been seeing for years. So, you know, glaucoma falls under that. So anybody who's got glaucoma, high dose vitamin D3, get our product, at herbalresults.net. Take 1 or 2 droplets per day. Add magnesium to that. Take 2 capsules of magnesium. Keep it moving. See how you're doing in a month, 2 months, 3 months. Usually, Coimbra is seeing reversals within like 6 months. He was seeing 6-month reversal with 10,000 IUs a day. You know what I mean? When you're really doing the protocol, you're doing like 50,000 to 100,000 IUs a day. But he was just, when he started, he was doing 10,000 IUs a day. He was seeing lupus reversals within 6 months.
Wow. So all that pain they go through, the joint pain, the dry eye, all this stuff, they can heal that with proper vitamin D.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
It's called the Coimbra protocol. People should look into it. And I've merged it in the herbal results protocol because we use an anti-parasitic approach and a high vitamin D approach. So we take the best of both worlds and create, our own protocol based on the standing on the shoulders of the giants who've been getting results.
Mm-hmm. Hey man, I think you have, for the most part, answered the general questions that we had to get to the people. I know a lot of us. Did you ever have any eye or vision problems?
Yeah, I did. When I used to have high blood sugar problems. Yeah, I get blurry eyes a lot. I get headaches a lot. That type of stuff. I've never had glaucoma or cataracts or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
I've had high blood sugar induced vision impairment, definitely. And you're correct for that, and you're good. And vitamin D is a good mineral for the eyes. A good vitamin for the eyes, a good mineral for the eyes is zinc as well. But that's why I like our magnesium product is magnesium, zinc, and selenium all in one. So you solve your zinc problems by getting that product as well.
That's really, really interesting. Always learn something new, and always learn something that I didn't expect. It's very, very interesting. Well, Brother Heru, was there anything else that you wanted to say that you didn't get a chance to say, or any announcement you want to make about? Do you have a book that you've written on certain things you want people to know about, or anything like that?
Yeah, I have my book. Here, anyone can download it off the website. It's called The Successful Eradication of Cancer Using an Intracellular Parasite Theory. It is an ebook, so you can buy it, download it, and have it with you forever. It has active links in it, so you can click it to see all of the scientific studies. You can click it to see all the testimonials, video testimonials of people who reversed their cancer using antiparasitics, and the approach that we have. And then you'll also be able to get our full protocol in chapter 3 of the book. So yeah, that's a book anyone can get anywhere in the world. You just get the book. It's $49.99. You download it. The first chapter is hundreds of scientific studies. And then the second chapter is testimonials all over the world, people reversing their cancer with antiparasitics. And then the third chapter is the protocol. So yeah, that's the book there. And then, the products is on the shop page where people can get the olive leaf extract for any inflammatory based conditions. We have starved cancer and parasites product. We have the vegan vitamin D3 plus K2. We have the magnesium, zinc, and selenium. We have the moringa cilantro, which is moringa and cilantro powder for heavy metal detox and weight loss. We have the CBD oil. And we have the Vitex for women, any gynecological issues women have. We advise them to try the Vitex. We have the anti-parasite package. Then we have, some recipe books, anti-inflammation diet recipe books. We've got a detox guide, and then we've got T-shirts as well. These T-shirts, these T-shirts are conversational pieces in the grocery store. Hypertension reversed, and then it has a code on there, so you can just get your phone and it'll go straight to the website. Mm-hmm. We have the sugar quote is on here. The sugar can burn a hole in your teeth. Imagine what it's doing to your internal organs. I have this shirt. I went to the grocery store a month ago, and someone stopped me and started asking me about it. And all that diabetes reversed, cancer eradicated. That's for my cancer customers who've gotten reversals. We just got one today. It's a brother I've been working with out of Trinidad that lives in, I believe, New Jersey. Just called me today. His PSA was 46, and his PSA is now 0.1. Brother Ron Noel, big up Ron Noel. I'll be interviewing him probably next week so he can share his story with people. Results speak louder than words. Salt is not a spice. Flu season is actually low vitamin D season. That's the T-shirt there. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, we have it. We have it all there, man, for people, and have satisfied customers. You know, so just to reiterate, man, cataracts, you would use DMSO and castor oil. Glaucoma, you would use high dose vitamin D3 with magnesium. And then diabetes based eye problems, you're going to change your diet to a no sugar, low carb diet. And you're going to take the olive leaf extract, the vitamin D3 plus K2, and the magnesium zinc selenium product, and keep it moving. So hopefully this has been educational for people. And I just cut straight to the chase and just tell people what to do to get the results. I just figure, people just want to know, what can I do to go from this problem to problem solved? So that's what it is. And no need to belabor the point or anything. That's exactly what you do. Cataracts, that's what you do. Glaucoma, this is what you do. You have diabetes-based vision issues, this is what you do. And keep it moving.
One quick question, Brother Heru, before we go. So the Queen is asking me, the castor oil blend that you referred to, is that also good for dealing with excessively dry eyes?
Yes, they have a product on there too for excessively dry eyes. It's right here. It's to moisturize your eyes. And so you go to bearcatbody.com, and they literally have
that name again.
Yeah, Bearcat, BARACATBODY.com.
Bearcat.
And they literally have.
They got the blends.
Yeah, for eye moisturizer. So just go through the website and you'll literally see products there as eye moisturizers. Okay, the Luster Elixir Eye Care. Just go there and you'll see it, and it should take care of whatever issue you have. So that's bearcatbody.com.
Bearcatbody.com. Family, you hear it. You're getting it right from the source. This is one of the websites you can go to. And let's not forget our Brother Heru's business and website, herbalresults.net, has a lot of good products as well. And he has dozens and dozens of people doing video testimonials, taking you through what they've experienced and how his protocols or products have helped reverse their situation. So it's a really good website.
Yep, here's the testimonials here. That's the testimonial page there. See all types of cancer reversal testimonials. And then you'll see diabetes, high blood pressure testimonials, and epileptic seizures, psoriasis, all of that. So we got it all there for you. So just take some time, do some due diligence, and solve your problems.
That's what's up, man. Listen, brother, appreciate you, man, and the work you're doing. This is very important work. For those of you who are saying, because I know how we get, oh, that's too much, that's expensive. I want you to think about how expensive it is to get a limb amputated, or how expensive it is you can't be mobile, or how expensive it is to be morbidly obese and have this high blood pressure and be addicted to medications. Think about it. If we scale back in this place where we spend money, then that frees up money to put towards the things we need to preserve our health. Health is your wealth. If you're not here, nothing else matters. Would you agree, Brother Heru?
You're
not alive.
And then, for your eyes, I'm on Bearcat right now, and the DMSO that they have is $30, man.
That's not bad at all.
You can get $30 to reverse cataracts without surgery. Our vitamin D is $30 at Herbal Results. You can get that to reverse your glaucoma. It's well worth it. All of these, none of these things are actually expensive. They're really not. Like in the
Right.
marketplace, if you compare our olive leaf extract to the marketplace, we're actually 3 times cheaper. Like literally, the 8-ounce bottle that I sell for $40, they're selling 1 ounce for $15.
Mm.
So just multiply that by 8, right? That's $120. And I sell 8 ounces for 40, which means that if you go to Whole Foods and get olive leaf extract, you're going to get an inferior olive leaf extract, and you're going to be paying 3 times more per volume than if you just got it from Herbal Results. So it's actually cheaper.
Yeah.
All right.
I agree. I agree. And you know what? I think about all the money I wasted in my 30s on complete foolishness. And I say, you know, sometimes it's about the choices we make. You know, when we say we don't have money, sometimes it's, well, what choices are you making with the money you do have? So I think this is our health is definitely something that we should choose and prioritize. Absolutely. There's no, I don't think anyone could debate that point. So even if it was a little pricier, how much is the Hennessy?
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
Nobody, so it's kind of comes down to what do we value and prioritize. So, but in any event, man, I want to thank you, not just for our monthly broadcast. I know that you crisscrossing the country, sometimes on your own dime and really giving this information out. You also have a website, herbalresults.net. I think that's scrolling on the bottom, those you watching. So if you miss anything here, don't be lazy intellectually. Go back and watch it from the beginning and go to his website for yourself. And any website he mentions, go to it and check it out for yourself. He's like a good professor. He's giving you primary sources, so you don't so you don't have to go on opinion. So that's really good, man. And we thank you, good brother. Be safe in your travels over to London.
Yeah.
And I'll be chopping over too soon, man.
No problem, man. Take care.
Yes, sir. Peace.
All right.